Yo, what's up with it, y'all? It's JD and I'm back with another quick video. In today's video, I'm out here in Ipanema Beach in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I'm out here with the homie. We just got finished getting a ring workout in, and we also did some animal flow.
Yeah.
First off, why don't you introduce yourself and tell everybody where you're from?
Sure, yeah. I'm Sam, I'm from London. I've been living in Rio for quite a while. I come from London to Rio, Rio to London. But yeah, I work as a sort of dating and social skills coach, so I help guys travel around the world and essentially meet women in a right way, in a respectful way. And I met this dude a couple of days ago. We've got a shared love of calisthenics, and so we've been out here training, talking, and getting shit done.
Exactly. And you guys, I'm gonna leave the link in the description for his channel. You guys go ahead and go over there and subscribe to his channel. Basically what we did today, this is my first real outdoor workout I've done in about, I would say, almost a month. And I'm still trying to work myself back into shape, but it felt great to be out here. I mean, you can't really beat the beach vibes when it comes down to actually getting a workout in on the beach. You can't really beat, you know, the environment, the energy. You got people out here moving around. The whole city is about, you know, I would say this whole city, from my experience here, people like to move around, people are walking around, people are being active. And you know, you got your party and your nightlife stuff here and there as well, but it's still a great place to come out and get a workout. But another thing, the main thing I really wanted to touch on in this video is being open to getting out of your comfort zone. And that could mean in terms of what he does on his channel in terms of meeting women, or it could just be in terms of traveling, going to different environments, just like we're in here in Rio. This is probably what, my third day in town so far. But the thing is that today I did some movements that I've never really done before. It's an animal flow movement that he was showing me. And for me, myself, it's something I'm not used to, you know, so I'm kind of not exactly coordinated in terms of doing the animal flow, but you have to get uncomfortable and you have to be able to be comfortable making a fool of yourself. You know, I don't know how to do it, you know what I mean? So I'm just here soaking up all the information, all the knowledge that he has.
Yeah, and likewise, man. That's the thing. I've done loads of movements that I've never done before. And that's life, isn't it? Like, you've got to put yourself in uncomfortable situations to find comfort there. You've got to constantly push the boundaries of what is comfortable for you and keep finding things that are different for you.
And that's my whole channel is based on personal growth, mental, physical, spiritual. And in order to grow in life in general, you have to be comfortable. You have to get uncomfortable. Because if you just stay in your comfort zone, you're never going to grow, you're never going to expand. You know, you're never going to see any other parts of the world. You're never going to try new movements. You know, we were just talking about martial arts, and you were saying that you know, messed around with a few different martial arts as well, and that's something I'm actually planning on doing while I'm out here as well. You know, you say you weren't 100% really into the capoeira stuff, but
try it, right?
At the same time, I at least want to give it a try. It looks like something that's interesting, kind of a dance mixed with martial arts thing.
Yeah.
But what else you got going on out here in Rio other than
well, like, so yeah, I mean, I've been coming out here for like 3 years, since 2018. So of all the places I've been, this place is super easy to find a cool group of guys, right? Like, I met you through a friend that I'd met before, and you were a friend of a friend. So you can come together, come out here and find guys, both like people who are traveling, people who are hustling over here, but also locals. People are super friendly. So this is a place where essentially, if you want the balance, like for me, a sustainable, good quality life is a balance of health, wealth, and love. It's like, have you got your health, mental and physical health in order? Have you got your finances and your potential to make money together? And have you got your relationships, family relationships, social relationships, and women in order? This is a place where it's really easy to eat clean, eat healthy, work out, super easy to hustle and meet like-minded people. And it's a great place to get that balance of wealth, health, love.
And the thing about it is, we're always growing in those areas of life as well. We can never stay stagnant or feel like we're at a comfortable place. We can always get better in all these areas of life. One thing I wanted to ask you is, as far as speaking Portuguese out here, how important do you think it is for somebody who's just coming out here to visit, or maybe somebody who's maybe planning on spending a little bit of time out here? How important is it for them to know how to speak Portuguese as soon as they get here?
Right, so it's kind of going to sound a bit paradoxical, but it's the most important thing, and it's also you can get by without it. So like, when I was coming to Rio for the first time, I was thinking about all of the stuff, like safety, which areas to stay, what clothes to bring or buy, like trying to do all of this stuff, learn about the politics, learn about the history. Honestly, I should have just spent 80% of that time learning Portuguese. But at the same time, if you come out here and you don't speak Portuguese and you live here in Leblon, where we are, it's at the end of Ipanema Beach, you're going to find loads of people who speak English.
Yeah.
Like the majority of like 60-70% of the men and women that you're going to meet here speak almost perfect English. So if you go a little bit further out, Lapa, Copacabana, other areas of Rio, it's going to be much lower English speaking. But as a foreigner here, you can basically get away with not speaking Portuguese, but it's super important that you do speak it.
So you can expand your horizons.
Exactly. So that if you find yourself at a party or in a social gathering and people are speaking, you're not that guy that's just on the outside trying to soak it up. You don't want to rely, and you learn the culture through the language as well. Like you learn how people express themselves, how people are by learning the language. So one thing what I recommend, if you guys like single guys and stuff, if you use Tinder, I don't use Tinder at all for dating or anything like that. But if you go on Tinder, meet a girl who wants to learn English a bit, speaks a little bit of English, and you want to learn Portuguese, you can just do a language exchange for a woman that you meet, like over Tinder, 1-2 months before you come, and that's the best way to learn. It's not Duolingo, it's with another person.
How did you actually learn how to speak Portuguese? What was your strategy? Was it so the women, or what did you actually take a course?
So I actually did that. So I had like a couple of girls who I was practicing with, particularly like the writing side, messaging, and I had a friend who lived in Sao Paulo, and I was helping him with some of his dating stuff and his networking, and he helped me with Portuguese. We just did a kind of exchanges. But that's the thing, just like the exercise, it's about improvising, right? It's about going outside your comfort zone. It's about thinking, problem solving, thinking creatively. You've got to figure it out the best way, and the best way to learn the language is to speak it.
Yeah, getting into that flow state. Not only in the animal flow, not only in the movement, but just in life in general.
Yeah.
And honestly, we're planning on just making a video right now just about calisthenics, flow, exercise, stuff like that, but it just kind of morphed into this.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because me and him kind of had like a similar conversation as we were working out.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about meeting women and kind of what he does for a living. And I was asking, is it important for him, or important for guys in general, if they want to meet women, do they have to know how to speak Portuguese?
Yeah.
And he was basically telling me, if you want, you go ahead and
Yes. So again, it's helpful to know it. Honestly, when I talk to the women here in Brazil, I speak in English because enough of them speak English and they want to practice it that I can have conversations in English. And then after 10-15 minutes, if I start breaking into good Portuguese, it kind of adds this element of, oh, this guy's not from here, clearly, but he knows the language, right? So it cues like intelligence and kind of creativity, ability to speak languages. Whereas if you go up immediately and speak very broken Portuguese, it's like you're trying to compete with all these people that are speaking fluently, and it kind of takes away your sort of the thing that you have as an advantage is that you're the foreigner, right? You're different.
Exactly.
And so if you just start speaking broken Portuguese, you're kind of suppressing what's the actual advantage. So I go up speaking English, then like 20-25 minutes into the conversation, I'll break into Portuguese, and that for me is the best way because women like to talk English here if they can. So.
And I know you're on a tight schedule, but I got one last question for you before we bounce out.
We're gonna go in the water first.
Yeah, we got. Oh yeah, most definitely. If you guys come out here, you guys get a workout. They got calisthenics equipment pretty much all along the beach here. But after you guys are done with the workout, you gotta jump in the water. There's literally no point of living in a tropical paradise, a beach paradise like this, if you're not gonna get in the water. You might as well just go to Sao Paulo. You 100%. Might as well go to some city that's landlocked. I just moved from Hawaii, and in Hawaii, I literally made a concerted effort to get in the water and spend at least an hour on the beach every single day. Before I get started with my day, I gotta touch that water.
That's it. It's about routines. Like to stay like on top of shit, you gotta have your routines. And for me, it's always work out in the morning, get in the water.
Yeah.
If you drink something the night before, you have a hangover, get in the water.
You gotta get in that
feeling
salt
lazy,
water
get in the water.
But the last question is, what would you say the biggest difference is culturally between being in Europe, being in London, versus being in Rio de Janeiro?
Everything's slow here, and people move slowly, right? In London, I'm used to like traveling to one part of London, see one friend, have a business meeting in another part, go back home, cook lunch, go somewhere else. It's like hectic, it's fast paced. Here, people do like 1 or 2 things a day. It's like, what are you doing today? I'm gonna like do an hour's work and go to. What are you doing today? I'm meeting a friend and then we're going to a bar. It's like time moves slowly here, right? You don't feel in a rush. So it's that, and the effect that has on the culture is that people are so much more open, right? In the UK, people are always looking at their watch. They're always waiting for where they need to go. Here, you can meet someone on the beach, stay there for 4 hours, create a really good connection with them. If it's a woman, you can end up going home with her, right? It's like here, time moves slowly, and if you're coming from a place like New York, California, London, Paris, you've got to adapt to that. Shit moves slowly, service is slow, people walk slowly, time moves slowly here, so you just got to relax.
For me, I was living in Hawaii, and it was kind of a very similar type of dynamic. People move slow in Hawaii. They say things run on Hawaii time.
Yeah.
And anytime you're in like a tropical environment, people are way more laid back, which is a great thing. But if you're somebody who kind of has that hustle mindset, it's something that you definitely have to adjust to. And you got to find a balance too, because if you're somebody who's on the grind, maybe you're working remotely, you got to find a balance between getting your shit done and relaxing.
Yeah, I recommend always just, if you are a hustling type, always just do 1 hour's work early in the morning. Just get something done, because sometimes it gets pushed further and further throughout the day.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's it for today. One more thing we were just talking about was safety. What's the safety like in terms of Rio, in terms of physical safety, in terms of somebody actually harming you, versus like things like petty theft and people breaking and entering and that type of stuff.
Yeah, so let's just give the context. So we just kind of stopped the video a bit short because some guys sort of like walked past and like stopped by the bags, and it's like we switched off a little bit because we want to we're in like the best area, we're in the safest area in Rio right now. But even here, if you leave your shit around, if you've got your phone, you're walking down in the street like this looking confused, people can take your shit for sure. And so it's not dangerous, right? Like it's very rare that you're going to be in physical trouble, but you've got to be smart coming here from somewhere like London where you can be on your phone all the time, or most of the states the same. Here, you want to make sure if you've got to check your maps, you've got to check some messages, come into a bar or a cafe or a restaurant. If you want to take money out, go inside the bank, don't do it at a cash point, and just like, you've got to keep your wits about you, you've got to be cautious, because people here have grown up with people getting robbed, and so they're street smart, and people are very subtle about how they were robbed. Like these guys, they saw that there's some security over there, so they sort of looked up, but they would think about taking your shit. So you've just got to be careful. Don't wear big chains, don't wear expensive watches, because you just make yourself a target if you're not around like a big group of people.
My rule of thumb is that anytime if you were ever in a hood, or if you ever in a hood in some other country, or whatever your home country is, the same rules apply when you come to a place like Rio, except you almost have to ratchet it up in your mind times 10, because I'm from the Bay Area, and if you're in like the worst parts of Oakland and the worst parts of Richmond and worst parts of San Francisco, nobody's gonna steal your cell phone. You know what I mean? People are playing for bigger game than just a cell phone, or trying to steal a watch or something like that. But definitely don't come out flashing. You know what I mean? I was always taught, don't floss on people who don't have anything. So, not saying that people here don't have anything, everybody, but don't floss on people who don't have anything, because there is some people here who are struggling. So you don't want to just overemphasize how much money you got, or overemphasize, how much, flash you got, or, pulling out your wallet and all this. You know what I mean? This ain't the place to stunt.
100%.
Yeah, do that someplace else.
People do that, like we were talking about in Baja, in another part of Rio. People do that, but they'll take an Uber to that place, right? If they're going to a nice club, wearing a chain and a watch, they'll take a car there. They're not going to walk down the street alone in the dark and do that. So you just kind of got to be smart about it. The way it works here, the people that rob your shit are going to be from the favelas, from Vidigal here, Rocinha behind, there's another one just down there. If they can't rob people in there, right? People don't have shit in there, and the few tourists there, if you live in Vidigal and they rob you there, these guys are going to get fucked up. They're going to get their hands cut off, or they're going to get some mob justice. So they will come to the richer area and rob here, where the police aren't going to do shit, and no one's going to find them. So it's not just about how expensive the area you're in. People from poorer areas are going to come to richer areas to rob the people there. So you got to be sharp about it.
So guys, that's pretty much it. And again, thanks for coming on the channel. We're gonna collab again very soon. He's staying right in Ipanema. I'm staying a little bit out of the way, but I'm gonna probably actually end up moving over here pretty soon as well. So then, it's just, you guys will see more of him. But again, make sure you guys subscribe to this channel. Peace.
Thanks, guys.
Purchase your tracks today.